most open-minded individuals, the men that I talk to, they're like, "Holy fuck, dude! Where do you learn this at?" And I'm not spewing some crazy fucking holier than thou bullshit that fucking Pauly boy spews.
Let me slow you down real quick. God did give us a promised land, and we're not allowed to go there. It's beyond the ice wall.
The no truth will set you free, man.
Talk about none of that. You want to leave all that?
You want to talk about flat Earth? You want to talk about flat Earth?
We're allowed to go to because the United States government said so, and all of the governments of around the world said so.
You want to talk flat Earth?
There is a flat Earth, and that's definitely supported by biblical scripture.
Well, you read the book of Enoch, you'll know a little bit.
Yes, and the angels went to the four corners of the earth, is what biblical scripture says. And I'm not even Christian, bro. I'm Gnostic.
Well,
and yeah, we do have a promised land. We're just not allowed to go there.
It's
here.
It's an in-depth subject.
It's here on earth, and hell is too.
But what it boils down to, right now we're in the stage of history where we're at. When I share information with people and I tell them about how to achieve freedom, I talk to them about taking their land and removing their property from the tax thieves and whatnot, and I explain to them about Social Security, how it's your money, and that's been prepaid. House Joint Resolution 132 from 192 from 1932. There's so many things. You could share so much information to be information overload, and you just give them a little piece of information, get their mind going.
Make Hyperborea great again. And make Agartha great again.
Agartha. Tell us about Turtle Island. They won't tell us about Turtle Island now, will they? But the bottom line is that the only thing that I could tell people is if they're not willing to seek the dangerous freedom and they want to continue to be peaceful slaves, is to seek their higher power and to be the best people that they can be. And to remove themselves from the bread and circus and the demonic world that they're in. They remove themselves from it. And that's pretty much all I can tell them, because if they're not willing to step up, and I deliver container boxes to people's
5 months or 6 months, and then it's over, and then I get to see my children and everything after the TPO is done in the spring, and everything will be back to normal. So it's either that, or I have one element that out of 4 that I could possibly beat, which there's no intent. It's as similar as yours, but I just don't know. It's
your first problem, or your first hurdle, I should say, is the court-appointed attorney. Mm-hmm. Your court-appointed attorney, should probably try to bring up Counterman versus Colorado, and it's a similar case, and your court.
This is
consequences of all of those things.
I'd like to do that. I'd like to just.
No, you contact your attorney and you say how much jail time in lieu of any probation or anything, just to get it cut and dry, over with, serve some time, and be done with it.
Oh God.
And to get a lower, get that fucking domestic or that terrorist threat shit off of there and drop it down to some other charge that's fucking like aggravated, harassment or something of that nature.
No, fuck that.
And get the original charge turned into something different, because you don't want to have a terror threat charge on your fucking record.
That's what I was thinking too.
So I personally would rather do jail time than do any fucking probation, have to take piss tests. That's money you don't have. You miss a fucking piss test, you can't afford it, your car breaks down, you don't have the cash, something happens, you're fucked. And then a violation is a violation is a violation. And then they're going to extend it. The probation is nothing but a fucking a ploy to keep you under,
I know. I don't want to. Yeah, I'd rather do time. I told him this from the get-go. That's why I want to take a jury, because I didn't have any intent. And I'd rather do time, but then they've told me all different times of what the judge might give. They started with,
it's not the judge. The judge isn't the one who gives the sentence.
I know, but my lawyers are telling me different things, and then they're trying to scare me at the same time at the different times, and it's like.
They have to use your sentencing guidelines. Your sentencing guidelines are the accumulation of what you've done in the past, what this crime was, and blah, 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 blah. So it's a calculated, event. When they say that the penalty is such and such and such and such, that doesn't mean that you're going to get that. It means that there's a potential for less. If you had no criminal history, you would get time served. You know what I mean? Possibly. I don't know how they structure it in Georgia, but when it comes to them giving you a plea deal prior to trial, they're obviously wanting to give you a plea deal because they don't think that they have a case. Because if they knew that they were going to convict you beyond a reasonable doubt, they wouldn't offer you a plea deal. They'd say, "No, fuck you. We're taking you to trial and we're going to nail you," because their whole purpose is to prosecute and to imprison people, whether it's in jail or in prison, which there's a difference. So if they're offering you something, they know that they have a very weak case.
Okay, can I tell you something? First of all, they've offered, we were with 2. I've turned 2 down at the already. So a while ago. So we're here at this point, but that's what I was told. We presented this, they accepted. Is how it happened.
Who's we? Your lawyer, or you and your lawyer?
Well, yeah.
So what did your lawyer present as far as 9 months probation and time served, 9 months probation, piss test, anger management, and whatnot?
Well, yeah, 9 months because I guess take away the 3. So yeah, and then anger management and maybe family classes, whatever, if they're online or not, we don't know. And
well, anger management.
Fine.
Do you know what anger management is?
Yeah, I've done it before, but I did it in person. Now I did it online in jail through a tablet. They have online classes. You got to pay $350. I don't know if it's gonna be online or what, or I got to go there. I've done it before. I've done anger management. I've been in this.
Well, real anger management isn't a class. Real anger management is going to therapy. Mm-hmm. And figuring out what makes you tick and what's making you upset and what's causing you issues and making you lash out at people or whatever.
No, I went and took classes, anger management classes with a book with all kinds of people.
Well, I know that they're going to say that they're classes, but true anger management aren't classes. That you're not getting to the root of.
She's not a rising star.
I wasn't ordered to have anger management. I was at one point in time. I said, you know what? I think I might need to go anger management classes. My cousin ran a treatment center. He was a heroin addict for a long time, and he had multiple treatment centers in the Detroit area.
Yeah, you're angry.
Just like therapy and all that, and so I went and started classes. Technically, finger quotations classes, but it wasn't a class. It was in person, but they can label things whatever they want. The judge has programs through third party, health facilities of sorts, and they determine what type of class, what type of program, what type of treatment that you go to. And if I was you, and this is my suggestion, is that I would talk to my lawyer and say, look,
you're a shitty person.
I'll do, if don't do any jail time. If you can get away with no jail time, don't do no jail time. Say, look, I'll go to, tell them you'll go to, anger management or call it whatever you want, but go to therapy, tell them you'll participate in therapy, and because I'm not trying to be a dick, but I've heard the things that you've been through. We all got stories, and it would probably benefit you to go and see what's up or not. Just saying, but I don't think that probation is going to
She's in
be a
denial, big
viable
time.
thing for anybody.
Yeah. I don't think anger management. I've went through all the steps. I'm handling it just swell. Trust me. So, but that we can go through. But we can play the game. I don't really care. But it's not gonna.
Well, I get that, but just throw everything out the window. Me to say, I would suggest that you fuck all the classes, fuck all the bullshit, the fines, the piss test, all of that. Just go do the time, and then once you do the time, you walk out and
Tell
you
her
got
what she has
nothing.
to hear.
Yeah, I just don't know if they're going to give that to me. They're going to say, "Oh, then we'll take a jury time." What if I say this? I just tell them, "Well, no, I don't. Still think it's fair.
Take the time.
I've thought this
I
over
want
overnight,
you to.
and I still think this is too outrageous." Then they're going to get pissed probably. And then I'm going to go in there, and if I lose, they might hand it to me. What do you think?
Well, the judge can't hand you anything. They have to go by your sentencing guidelines. And you should ask your lawyer to say, what are my sentencing guidelines if I go to trial and I lose, and they throw the book at me at the high side of the guidelines.
They just told me 5 to 10 years.
Well, do you want to roll the dice at 5 to 10?
Not really. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so if you tell them,
but is a judge going to have that on her record as charging a mom for a felony for something that no one?
They don't give a fuck. Their job is a judge's job after a guilty fucking verdict is to rack up their numbers so at the end of their career they can say, I got 15,000 fucking years of prison time under my belt. I've sentenced my defendants 15,000 years or whatever the number is. Those are the shits that they boast when they're at their fucking parties and their golf outings. And they're having fucking they're razzing each other about how terrible of a lawyer or a judge they were. They'd be like, oh yeah, fuck you. I got 25,000 fucking man years in prison. How many did you sentence? This is the thing that they need to feel better about themselves. So I wouldn't suggest, being a part of their fucking numbers game. I would try to communicate. I know that you probably can't communicate with the people involved, and make amends and, whatnot. I don't know. Maybe try to, I don't know. I don't know the whole story. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Remotely. Are you kidding me? I'll be in prison right now. I mean, don't put me in. No. I can't do anything like that. I have to wait.
Right. Well, you can submit something to your lawyer, have your lawyer submit it to the prosecutor, and have the prosecutor pass it on to the people, and literally amends and apologize if you feel it's necessary, or that it may because this is
I do apologize. I do. I mean, yeah, I said something out of rage and anger that I obviously didn't mean. I was provoked, but I won't talk about why. And
well, I get that. I get you.
That
you have anger.
Yeah, there's no intent or nothing behind it.
And you attack people, and you even attack the children.
It hurt my children in the process, emotionally missing me and me as well. It's like, can we just get back to normal? Like, what's going on here? Like, so yeah, but I can't do that. So like,
well, you can bring the idea up to your lawyer and say, look, I don't want this situation. Not, it can't be about you not wanting to go to jail kind of thing, because you have to really mean that you have to be, asking for, forgiveness to the degree and be serious about it and bring, a serious effort into saying, look, I apologize. I didn't mean to do it. Say it, I'm willing to do whatever, but it's not a positive situation for your children.
She will never apologize
for you to be outside of their lives while you're not in a jail where you're separated in any way, shape, or form. The children need their mother. Period. And so, whatever you can do to make amends, you'll do it in lieu of having to go, through all of this insanity that Frank, it's difficult for anybody to go through probation, to piss tests, to fucking classes, to all of these things that
reality is finally
it's
hitting
almost
her.
an impossible fucking
like finally.
sentence.
What? Yeah, it's a revolving door, but yeah, it's a trap. But you can do it. It's just
trap.
Well, you can do it, but
yeah, I've done it. But you bring up the car breaking down and all that shit. I'm like, and fines and probation.
Well, you gotta play chess.
But I only need to get by at 9 months. But if I
you're
fail
better
it,
in your
I'm
life
fucked.
more
yeah,
than ever.
I get it.
You gotta play chess and what the possibilities are out there. Right. Anything could happen. You know, there could be a drop in the economy and people aren't fucking buying food no more. Yeah. There could be a drop in the economy and people ain't gonna have their fucking houses cleaned no more. Anything can happen.
That's why I want to do jail time and get the fuck over with. I agree.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that sit down,
this is a long game,
take some time, sit down and write down
people.
the different scenarios. Okay, scenario 1. How much time can I get out of them? You know, at minimum wise, what's the minimum amount of time that I can do just to do jail time, be done with everything?
Months. That's it.
Yeah, that's
another 3 months.
Style.
If that's what they'll take to get me out of this.
Well, I don't know. What are you? Do they? You said they give you how much time off, or in the county? Because here in Michigan, if you get a month, you only have to do 25 days.
It's 2 for 1 in Hall County. It's just
okay. So if you get a 6-month sentence, you only have to do 3 months.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So even if you say, look, I'll do another 6 months. It's really I'm just saying. I'm throwing something out there. Say I'll do another 3 months.
But it's still going to be on your
record. And while I'm in there, I'll participate in anger management while I'm in there, or whatever classes.
There is nothing.
Okay, so nonetheless, you can present scenario number 1, which is straight jail time.
She's like obsessed with me.
How much straight jail time would they give me?
She's like, I don't know.
And then you might even have to say after jail, I'll go to anger management.
Stalking me. I have the worst receipts.
Just anger management. No drug test, no probation, no nothing.
This woman needs help.
You'll go to anger management, voluntarily.
Let's get her just in jail and incarcerate her.
And then
so she
that's
can
scenario
learn
1 or whatever
tactics.
you need to include in scenario 1,
like
so you can get the least amount of jail time or even whatever. So it's just jail time and none of this probation bullshit, none of this fucking financial, crap, no fines, no nothing. And then scenario number 2 is maybe some jail time with a little fine or whatever it is. Just you create the options and you present it to your attorney. Yeah, and you say, look, these are what I would prefer. This is option number 1 that I want. Yeah. This is option number 2 that if I can't get 1, I'll get 2. If I can't get 2, I'll get 3. So you just go down the line and say, this is what I would like to do.
In jail.
And then in every one of these options, you make it clear that you will apologize or make amends and ask for forgiveness or write a letter.
She loves to harass people. She's sadistic
whatever
as
it has to be.
She has harassed me for 3 years.
I don't know. That's for you to decide. But make these plans and say option 1, option 2, option 3.
I'm sick of her.
Okay, that's a great idea. Thank you.
I love
that's a great idea because
genuine advice.
It's just I want to get it over with, and then
you don't want to go to trial
or what?
I don't want to go to trial.
You don't want to go to trial. Under the circumstances. You don't have anything in your favor. You don't have a good lawyer. I'm not saying that the lawyer is a shitty lawyer, but they're known to do a little less than they need to because they're not they're not making $5,000-$10,000. They're not getting paid by the hour. They're getting
She's snorting a line.
$300-$400. Whatever. At the end of the day, your lawyer's probably making $1,200 after it's all said and done. When it posed that, a person on the street that came to your lawyer and said, I'm being facing this, they would be like, that's $10,000. So they're not going to give you the proper representation as they normally would, but that's neither here nor there. You just need to figure out what you're willing to do to avoid that potential of rolling the dice and getting 5 to fucking 10. Because they have no fucking problem giving you 5 to fucking 10. They'll give it to you happily.
She didn't.
Trust me.
There's no smoke.
They don't care that you're a mom. They don't care that you know you didn't do it or you didn't mean it. They don't care because a jury of your peers said that you did it. Now their job is to fuck you.
Though, bro. Oh my god. Looks like a bad surgery.
So when I tell them this, and they're gonna go, well, we already asked for a lot. Now we're gonna ask for more. That's what he's gonna tell me. Like,
well, it's not. You're the one that. It's your life. It's not the lawyer's life.
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm gonna explain to them too, like, hey, listen, we're gonna get a good comedy. Like anything can happen, as you know. And I'm really worried. What if I'm on probation? This happens. Can I just see if we can just do jail?
That's none of their concern.
No, but I can explain this to my lawyer so they can explain it to the judge. Why I'm asking.
I get that, but I'll tell you right. Your lawyer doesn't want to hear all that. Just present it. Write it down, email it to your lawyer, and say, "This is what I want."
Him on the phone. I'm real with him. He's real with. No, we're real. Like I'm gonna tell him exactly like that. Like, listen, we're gonna gig economy. Like, I'm starting to be concerned. What if something happens?
Well, you
want to get this over with.
Well, I'm telling you that even if it's your defense attorney, I wouldn't even bother telling them that you're basing this on the what if isms. Base it upon resolution, not what if. I want to present these because what if?
Fun of my nose?
Fuck the what ifs. These are the 3 options that I'm willing to take. What ifs aside.
That nose has been through a lot.
They don't want to hear what ifs, even if it's your lawyer. I get that, but it's presenting the wrong. It's the wrong approach.
That one looks
what you need to do is just present this one, this is 2, this is 3, this is what I'm willing to do. And if they don't want to take 1, 2, or 3, then I will probably roll the dice and see what happens at trial.
Looks high too.
They don't want to spend the money because it costs them money to have a trial. They would rather have in their book, a win is a win is a win. And a win would be with scenario number 1. A win would be with scenario number 2. And a win is with scenario number 3. But make sure that you drop the terror threat down to some other charge, to menacing or something of that nature. But do not take a terror threat fucking charge. Drop it down. Even if you have to negotiate and get another couple of months in jail, it's worth taking a terror threat charge down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, to something else, because it's going to be a misdemeanor one, but not a felony.
Well, if you can get it down to a misdemeanor, you're going to have to do more time. Well, whatever it is, whatever you got to do to keep a felony off your record.
Well, that's what they're offering me. It's going from a felony to a misdemeanor. That's why I'm like, okay, now.
Well, they'll keep it in the misdemeanor category if they're willing to do that. And if they're dropping the amount, it's just however you got to figure it out. And maybe you can work it out with your lawyer if you present these 3 scenarios or 4 or 5 scenarios or whatever you got to come up with. But keep it in at least 3 scenarios. Present them to your lawyer. Talk to them, and again, don't base your decisions off of the what if scenarios. It's either this is what I want, this is what I'll take in second position, and this is what I'll take in third position. And if your lawyer, and you tell your lawyer, if you can come up with something that's a compromise of all 3 of these that I'm willing to accept, I'm willing to accept it. But I'm not, and if I have to go to trial, I'll go to fucking trial. But I'm sure your lawyer said, I wouldn't take this to trial, right?
It's like
that white stuff on her nose.
It's like yes and no. It's like all like it. I don't know. Like it just varies. I
Well,
don't know, like, because then I asked, like, I got it, and I was totally taking a trial, but then I start listening to stuff in the news, and I'm like, well, let me ask you again, how sure are we about this? And then like that element, and then I want to go over it, so I want to feel more secure, you know. And then we go over it, and then he's like reminding you,
sweating
well,
now.
it could
She's
be,
sweating
but
big
we're
time.
gonna, you know, like
well, there's no guarantees. They'll tell you.
I know. That's why it's like a
So-
risky thing, and it's like, well, you get
Now
giving me
she's
9
talking a
months
lot.
that I can punch this out, but then I understand what you're saying. And then, yeah, I have that on my record for 5 years, and I think misdemeanors erased after 5 years. So I just, yeah, it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to deal with.
Well, there's a lot to think about, but at the same time, you know.
Listen, hear me out, because I only came up for a quick second. I ain't even trying to.
Okay, hearing you.